On this episode of our laid-back life, Cam and April travel to the northernmost edge of Yunnan, on the doorstep of the Himalayas and Tibet. We are headed to the small mountain town of DEQIN and Yubeng National Park. We're on our way to DEQIN village in the mountains, and we've been on this 3-hour bus ride, winding through the mountains here in northern Yunnan, just a few hundred miles from the border to Tibet. Villages and roads were dug out of the middle of the mountains, as rivers below carved deep valleys along the base. Here, freeze frame. Look at this one village perched on the side of the mountain. The houses and farms are all vertical, stretched along the side of the mountain. The villages are built on even the smallest mountain tops. Any flat land is used for farming and for the community. Freeze here again. You have to see it to believe it. The town of DEQIN is not a well-known destination among foreigners. It is a small town perched on the side of the mountain at 2,500 meters above sea level. DEQIN is famous for the beautiful mountain across the valley called Meili Snow Mountain, the tallest mountain in Yunnan, which peaks at 6,700 meters above sea level. We checked into our hotel that looks directly over the beautiful Meili Snow Mountain. Be careful not to book a hotel in the main town around the corner because you won't be able to see the mountain at sunrise. The next morning we got up at 5:30 a.m., packed our camera equipment, and walked down to the viewing platform to wait. We wait for sunrise. We set our tripod with a time lapse and put our drone in the air to get some aerial footage. And I have to say, it was totally worth the lack of sleep. The scenery is spectacular. It is 11 o'clock? 10:45? We are in our taxi headed down to the base of the mountain here. We are really late this morning, so the bus leaves at about 8:30. And we missed it because while we were taking our video footage of the morning sunrise hitting the mountain, I nuked our drone by running it into the deck. So I had to go find it, which took about 40 minutes to find the drone sitting in the shrubs. So that put us behind schedule. So right now we're taking a taxi down into the valley of the mountain, and the scenery is absolutely amazing. Right, Shogai?
We got up so early this morning. I'm pretty sleepy already. Hopefully the 5, 6, 7 hours hike will make me awake.
Yeah, it's a 12-kilometer hike to the village that we're going to go to. So usually you're supposed to start at 8 or 9 in the morning on the hike, but it's 11 for us. So we'll see how it goes. We walked around the town until we found a local taxi driver that we could hire to drive us down to Yubeng National Park. It's about a 1-hour drive. And we got his contact information so he could pick us up at the end of the day. We paid 100 RMB per person for our entry ticket to Yubeng National Park. When you enter the park, there are SUVs covered in dirt with drivers waiting to take you up the mountain. A drive halfway up will cost 150 RMB per person, and a drive all the way to the village in the mountain is about 300 RMB per person. We decided to walk up the mountain, believing it to be a 3 to 4 hour hike up, and this was a dire mistake.
你爬山，你累不累？你不累？那你背我呀？不累。背我呀。Carry me on your back if you're not tired.
Being so cheap, we turned a 40-minute easy drive up for $60 per person into a 9-kilometer, 6-hour hike. We really messed up.
So we are 6,000 meters, 6 kilometers into our hike up to the mountain. We're going to Lower Yubeng. Yubeng village is a village that's high up in this huge mountain with a glacier. And then there's hotels and stuff. So most people got a Jeep ride for like $30, 150 RMB, all the way up to that village. But we have been hiking 2 hours, and it's like 1:30 now? Yeah. So we're gonna keep going in a bit to try and get up to this village. We're not even at the village yet. Oh my god. The people here have to have donkeys in the past to bring up all their stuff to these remote villages. So there's murals on the walls in the towns of donkeys. And now it's Jeeps, 4x4 SUVs. So they've modernized a little bit, and it's much faster. But you can see behind me, it's pretty amazing. We have these huge trees like this, all the way up the mountain. Behind you have like other mountains with snow on them. It's crazy to think that this is just like 6 or 7 hours drive from Dali, where they have rice fields, and like fruit farms. It's so quick, it changes into this mountain terrain. What about you, Xiaogui?
I wish we can go to that point because I don't want to waste 2 hours hike and then just return back because we're so weak.
We're so cheap. We don't want to pay the $30 each, so we decided to hike up the mountain instead.
Now I regret. I really regret. I should pay that.
Oh, well.
For my weak body, weak
Next time.
legs.
It's 3 o'clock, Xiaogui. We've been hiking for 3.5 hours. We're 8 kilometers in.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm dead. Only my mind is floating. My body is like out of control totally.
We started at 2,500 meters, and now we're at 3,700. And it's finally flat. We've been walking uphill, straight uphill, for like an hour and a half.
After 6 long hours with 2 tea break pit stops along the way, we finally made it to the summit.
现在我们要去看梅里雪山。啊？哇！刚刚看的是白马雪山，现在这个地方能看到哇，能看到梅里雪山。
The view is spectacular.
走了差不多4个小时， 终于到了第一个观景的地方，然后眼前就是梅里雪山，哇，太美了，震撼了这个是。
We decided to hike up, which was a brutal and painful, with low oxygen environment. But I feel like it was all kind of worth it to get to here. So this is our view from where we are sitting for our afternoon.
I never seen such a view like this. I'm from countryside without big mountains.
Yeah, there's not too many big mountains.
And they don't snow. It's amazing.
What's with the headscarf?
Protect me from the sunburn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it so sunny here?
Yeah, it's very sunny.
I'll show. This is the blue skies. Blue skies. Nothing but sunshine. Alright, back to Xiaoguai. What are these cloths here behind you?
Those are kind of this place. People are like Tibetan. They believe in Buddhists. So this is a kind of Tibetan kind of school. So they'll hang this kind of little flags with lots of their characters and all the kind of Bible things. This place. So they hang it here, put them in pictures, things like that. They'll pray.
You can see everywhere. This big tree over there. This spot is the only spot on the mountains that has all these things.
If we were to visit Yubeng again, I think we would book a night at the hotel in the village in the park itself and pay the SUV fee to get a drive up and then hike out of the park the next morning, which is mostly downhill.
When you're walking up the mountain because of the elevation, you go like 10 or 15 steps and your heart starts boom, 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 boom. On the way down though, it's great. Ah.
Yeah, except the toes and the knees.
Yeah, except your knees take a beating. But
Yeah, but it's much easier.
We spent so much time hiking uphill in the woods, we missed the chance to see some of the other sites like waterfalls and some of the other mountain peaks in the park. There is no train to Shangri-La or DEQIN, so tourists must travel by bus. So ask your hotel owner if there's anyone they know in DEQIN who's going to be driving into Lijiang the next day. It's likely that someone will be making the trip and you can catch a ride.
Yeah, go ahead.
so this wraps up our trip here in
Yubeng.
Yubeng National Park. Yes, Yubeng is the name of the village.
Yeah.
So this is it for our trip here, and tomorrow we head back to Lijiang and then back to Dali where we still live. It's an amazing trip, definitely worth coming to, all the way to DEQIN, which is the city area here, mountainside city. Absolutely stunning views. One of the only places in China that has untouched nature. Really, like no fake waterfalls or fake trees or other stuff. It's just like 100% beautiful. Xiaoguai is making that like face because it doesn't know what I'm talking about. But we just went to Lijiang and the Blue Lagoon lakes are like man-made.
It's not.
It is. The
lake?
waterfalls were man-made.
Okay, but the lake wasn't.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be a river. Yeah. Anyway, it's the end of the day here. Sun is setting against the mountains in north of Yunnan, in the Tibetan cultural area. We're just a handful of kilometers that way from the Tibetan province, which is amazing. Definitely 10 out of 10.
Thank you for watching.